Right, if you're on the launch, you know that we are now here to discuss numbers and how they affect business in the country. A report by the Controller of Budget has revealed that some counties have spent the money that was allocated to them in the fight for COVID-19 in unrelated things that are not meant towards the fight of this pandemic. This is even as 6.2 billion in terms of stock is stuck inside the KEMSA in terms of stock that is supposed to be supplied. This is the PPEs, the masks, the sanitizers that are supposed to be supplied by KEMSA to the public. 6.2 billion. We're trying to understand exactly how these numbers are, and that is why on set today I'm trying to fuse politics and data with a political enthusiast and a professional data analyst. Right. Welcome on set. So how does a political enthusiast and a data analyst by profession become one person?
Okay, we need to understand that there's passion,
right,
and there's profession. So politics has always been my passion, and we can't just say politics. Leadership has always been my thing. Right. So this is how I'm fused between these politics and now my profession, which is data analysis,
right,
and environmental
and
stuff.
This comes very, very, very timely for us today because you are a data analyst as well as a politician in terms of your passion, as you've said. And we are currently seeing a lot of graft in the country as in terms of money that has been allocated in the fight against COVID-19. And this is amounts that come in a period when a lot of people have lost their jobs, a lot of businesses have shut down. Do these numbers mean that much to us as a country?
Yes, they actually do. They actually do, because this is affecting us as the entire country. Because you see, from what we've seen and the issue that came up the other day, you saw that there are some people who are actually doing businesses rather than helping the country.
Right.
They are benefiting themselves, and this is something that we've always been against, that money that belongs to the public should be channeled to the public. It is so sad and saddening that this was aid fund
that was given to the country by organizations.
Yes,
yeah, right.
Exactly. But,
so,
yeah.
You have been a youth leader in Dagoretti constituency before.
Yes.
And right now, the youth in the country are the ones who are affected the most in terms of the loss of jobs and also lack of employment, especially during this period of the coronavirus pandemic. Do you are there ways you feel that the youth can liaise or join themselves into making sure that they survive this period in which they cannot secure stable employment?
Yes, actually I would really want to encourage the youth of this country that we now need to step up our game and do things that we feel will be like our side hustle. Currently, the situation in the country is there are no employments.
Right.
So we need to come up with ideas, we need to come up with innovations that will really help us, especially during this pandemic that we've seen loss of jobs.
Right.
Yeah, so we need to think, and I'm so grateful that the Mutumba has opened up,
right,
which is something most of the youth do. Yes. So it is a good thing that even the president considered that.
Right.
The other thing that has also affected the youth is we actually understand that most of these wines and spirits within the estates are usually managed, and the owners are the youths.
Yes.
So also
and right now,
yes,
now that you've gotten that, right now we are seeing a situation in which bars and nightclubs are still closed, and we understand that the youth are usually the people who are involved in especially running this sector of the economy. What does this mean? This loss of jobs, the extension of the closure of bars. We are seeing farmers getting affected. The curfew is still extended, which means business cannot be conducted during the night, and a lot of jobs have been lost, especially in those sectors, specific sectors that have been affected. The suppliers, the people who are running these businesses, such as the EABL. So these are huge. These are very huge numbers to look at. And does it look grim for the country in general going into the future?
Yes, we need to consider going into the future. Like you've mentioned actually that this, in fact, the entertainment industry, the nightclubs, you see the bouncers are the youths, the waiters and the waitresses are the youths.
DJs.
Yes, the DJs are the youth. So even some of these bar owners are the youth.
Right.
So we need to, actually the government should consider like opening these entities back.
Right.
But what the youths need to do for us to be able to be safe and achieve what we want, I think we should strictly adhere to the guidelines that the Ministry of Health has
So
given
you've been
us.
a leader who's worked with youth before. Are you currently working with any youth groups or especially to support them?
Yes, we are currently doing that. We've done some project in Korokocho, where a family lost their home. So we are actually building up a home for them. And we are even engaging youths in these activities of creating, or rather making masks so that they can get a living. We've also done some activity with some youth from Dagoretti of this soap, the liquid soap. Yes,
the hand wash.
The hand wash. Yes. So actually they are earning from that. So we need to capture this moment, actually take advantage of the situation, so that we can, we can create opportunity.
What are some of those organizations or opportunities that you know are there that the youth can work with? What are some of those funds that they can access, some of those organizations that you've worked with, and also that you feel that the youth, someone who's watching, would hope on to and help themselves this period?
We have the Tujiajiri program. We also have the youth fund, and
how do they access this, some of these funds? Because this is information, I guess, that is not available to most of the youth right now.
Actually, on the National Youth Council, you can find all this information.
Right.
Yes.
So this is accessible on their website or through an office?
This is accessible even on their website.
Right. So you are an environmental enthusiast.
Yes.
How does that work out?
Actually, at the moment, I don't really practice environment because I've veered towards more of data analysis than the environment.
Let's talk about data analysis. You are professionally a data analyst. Where do you currently practice it, or are you focusing on politics?
Currently, I'm employed with them Copa Solar.
Yes.
So I'm currently practicing my data analysis there. Yes.
What are the employment opportunities that are currently available in the data analysis field?
There are so many.
Right.
There are so many. There is data analysis. There is software engineers. Yes. There are so many.
Do you feel like this field of data is relevant, especially as we move forward towards a new world?
I really want to urge the youths that this is a field, and it is an area that is growing very fast. And considering now that data is everything. Right,
and data is everywhere currently. We are talking numbers in terms of
we are talking numbers.
The spread of coronavirus, the loss of billions of pensions.
So these numbers really help in big decision making in this world generally. So I would really encourage the young people to come in and
if someone ventures into a career in the field of data analysis, do they get an opportunity to eventually self-employ themselves, or do you just strictly have to be employed?
Yes, you can employ yourself, because even personally what I do is I do consultancy for some people. Yes, and as a youth who is involved in party politics of KANU, it is something that I usually use my Right.
So as a data analyst professionally, how does this tie to you? How do you feel it contributes to you as a politician?
Politics is all about numbers.
Right.
So I would really know how to go about them, and I would really know where to and where not to.
Of course, as before I maybe head on to the next question, what are your current ambitions in terms of politics?
Currently, I will, as the Nairobi chair of KANU, so what we are doing is we are actually inviting the young people, because this is now the new KANU Fresh. So we are actually inviting the young people and the women to come and join us.
Right.
Forget about the old Kanu mentality. So we are giving opportunity to every young person in these countries, and come 2022, we shall be fielding so many young candidates in this country.
So billions of Kenyan shillings have been lost in terms of money that was supposed to be allocated in the fight against the COVID-19 pandemic. As a politician, a practicing and aspiring, of course, politician, what is your take on these graft cases, of course, from a political point of view and also probably from a data analyst point of view?
Okay, so what I will say about this graft is that let us wait for the authorities to do their work, and let us not even rush into conclusion, but let us wait for the report that will come from the DCI and the authorities that are responsible for that.
Right. Now, as finally, probably as a data analyst, how do you feel like these numbers, all these numbers, in terms of graft, we are seeing a lot of leaders being charged, Aisha Jumwa in Malindi, Governor Obado, we are seeing the KEMSA board, of course, even pointing fingers at the top officials at the Ministry of Health who have been involved or who got orders to be involved in some of these alleged graft charges. What do you feel is the direction of the country, or what do you say is the direction of the country when the leaders, and you as a leader in this, of course, in the country, what do you feel is the direction of leadership in the country when a lot of leaders who we are electing or we are putting in positions of power, as yourself we would, what do you feel like the direction is now that there's so much graft that is currently
I would really want to urge Kenyans and anyone that is watching. We've made mistakes by electing leaders not based on their values, but based on what they have in terms of monetary.
Right.
So I would really want people to really interview, or rather get to know the leaders that they are choosing.
Right.
So this is what we are actually for as KANU Party.
Right.
So we want people with integrity.
Right.
You are choosing leaders that are leaders and not just politicians. Leaders that will take this country to another level. Because it is so sad that some of these people got the clearance from the EACC on integrity. And they were allowed to vie. But unfortunately, we can see that some of them are even going to embezzle the public fund, which is something not...
So this embezzlement, all this corruption and graft charges, how do they affect the GDP of the country and the growth of the economy?
This clearly does, because if it was money that was supposed to circulate, then unfortunately it goes to someone's account or someone's personal pocket.
Right.
You see, this has affected so many
Kenyans
in general, and this has also affected the GDP.
And maybe finally, to tie this all up, the youth are currently involved in a youth program by the government to make the environment at least... Kazi Mtaani, right. You are someone who has previously been in the world of the environment. Do you feel like the environment can tie into jobs as well, as it currently is?
Environment can tie into jobs.
Right.
Because we always say, taka ni pesa. There's that.
Pesa kama takataka.
Yes.
Yes.
So actually, the youth, I can urge them to come together, create CBOs, look for these funds.
What are CBOs?
These are community-based organizations. Yes. So they can come together as a team, look for these funds, and they can start the Mtaani project.
Right.
So collecting this garbage, and this is a way of getting income.
Right.
So especially during this pandemic when things are tough, you see, you can go and collect garbage and get some income.
Right.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Thank you for joining us on the launch here on Biashara Tuesday. That was CALVINCE, of course, an aspiring and a leader and an aspiring future leader, an aspiring senator, he informs me. I'm going to allow him to talk to his constituents as well as give us his last remarks, of course, on what we have been discussing on set, on that camera.
Thank you, the residents of 047 Nairobi County. This is CALVINCE OKELLO, and what I want to urge the youth of this country, for we are the biggest number, over 75%. What I really want to ask everyone is, let us be cautious when choosing and electing leaders. Let us not rush because of the monetary things, but let us focus on things that will be long-lasting in future.
Right.
Yes.
Thank you very much. We shall be taking a very short break right here on Biashara Tuesday. Keep sending me your engagement on Twitter and as well as on the SMS numbers that are there on your screens. I shall be right back. My name is Richard Okenya, and this is KUTV's Rise Today.